Hello everyone, it's me, Skin Glow and Afro. Welcome back to my channel, and can you believe it? It's 2020. I don't know where my mind has been the past couple of days, but I'm still trying to adjust. Still trying to adjust to it, but you know, what can I say? Anyway, let's get straight into the topic today. One of my favorite topics, as you will know if you've been subscribed to me. Oh, and to my new subscribers, hello. I see you lot, thank you. Today the topic is dating within your race as a black person. Now, someone posted on Twitter last night, that they're only going to date black people. A black woman said this, and now her mentions are basically finished. I don't understand what is wrong with other black people. I don't understand what some of your mentalities sometimes, because this whole madness about, oh, you shouldn't be saying that we should be only be dating other black people. It's limiting yourself. Limiting what? Okay? Do you know how many cultures there are within the black diaspora? You know, all the countries in Africa where there are black people, all the countries in the Caribbean where there are black people in America, black people here in the UK, but yet somehow we're limiting ourselves by choosing to date within our race. Another issue that I have with people condemning her for her tweet is the simple fact they're saying stupidness. They don't have a logical reason for actually, you know, a logical argument against what she is saying. The simple fact they're saying stuff like, well, if you choose to date a black person, then you're going to die single, you're going to be a single mother, you're limiting yourself, all this kind of nonsense. Not a logical argument within any single one of the people saying that stuff. And the funny thing about it is it's mainly black women who are the ones who are combating against this whole tweet, which is absolutely madness. I mean, imagine black women going that hard against a black woman saying she wants to date other black people. And the funny thing is, this black woman who said this tweet is actually dating another black woman, so she's gay or bisexual. Another thing is you don't seem to realize how anti-black it is to actually say that a black woman saying that she wants to date fellow black people, you know, get married to fellow black people, that they're going to become a single mother. That is completely anti-black, because let's be honest, yeah, some of you are caping a bit too hard for white people, as if white men don't also leave white women who they get married to or not as single mothers as well. So, you know, I've been watching Snap Women Who Kill, all these kind of shows about cheating and all these kind of stuff, you know, on the ID channel, and criminal investigation, and white men have no business, they don't mind leaving their white wives to go start a family elsewhere, even though they already have children in a household. They do this a lot, and because there's a lot more of them, of course there's more single mothers within the white community, but nobody wants to talk about that. You want to be coming down so hard on this black woman for her decision, which has absolutely nothing to do with a lot of you. You interracial relationship brigade can do whatever the hell you want to do. It's got nothing to do with us. If we choose to want to date black, marry black, have black children, what the so that got to do with you though? Nothing. You stay there with your interracial relationship fantasies as if it's so fucking perfect. Like you keep saying it's not the character that matters, it's the person. Right, so if it's the person, then you should have, if it's not the colour that matters, it's the person. By that logic, then her tweet should not have offended you, because her saying that she wants to date black even within that, she can find a black person who is the perfect person, perfect fit for her. Able to comprehend the simple fact that there are actually good black men, good black women out there who, you know, want to date one another. You know, two black women together, two black men together, a black woman, a black man together. You seem to be unable to comprehend that simple logic. And the simple fact is, a lot of the arguments against have absolutely no basis in facts. Okay, you just chatting to just chat. You don't have a, like, you can say some shit that don't even make no sense, and when someone criticizes that argument, instead you want to be calling them a bitch and a whore and all this kind of stuff and all this mad kind of language, instead of, you know, using your little brain and, you know, coming up with a logical argument. But instead you don't want to. Instead you say things like, oh, black men hate all black women and black women ain't shit, and I wouldn't want to get married to a black woman because she reminds me of my mother. As if that even makes any logical sense. Now, let me tell you something. This is not just an issue between heterosexual relationships. This also happens in homosexual relationships. I have noticed personally that a lot of black gay men have said they want to date white men because black men remind them of their fathers. Now, I'm sorry, sir, but you don't think that sounds a little bit incestuous to be saying some shit like that? That you don't want to date a fellow black man because that reminds you of your father. What kind of relationship do you have with your father? I think you need to see a fucking therapist, love. You really do. This was a black man saying they only wanted to date a black woman. Nobody would be saying shit. Well, black women wouldn't be saying shit against it. Okay, there will be white women crying in their fucking mansions talking about, but what about us, bitch? What about you? It's not about you. Not everything is about white women. It's not. I know what the media has said, but trust me, not everything is about you. Sometimes it's about us black women as well. Okay, it's time we put ourselves first, because we're tired of being treated as second all the time. No, sometimes we want to be first and last. Just in case you didn't realise. But honestly, back to that topic. Black gay men saying they don't want to date black gay men because they remind them of their fathers. I mean, imagine the illogical nonsense that you're coming out with. Where's it going? Where is you going? Is your brain actually logged on? If it is, I want to know, is it actually firing? Because to say such madness like that, you're not even realising the self-hate and anti-blackness that is coming out of you, because you're basically saying that any man who is black reminds you of your father, so therefore, of course, you're not going to be attracted to your father, but then again, you're also saying that you're not attracted to men who resemble you, and that is an issue. And I've also noticed that about straight black men who date who are heterosexual, they don't want to be dating black women because black women remind them of their mothers. Like, you don't want to be dating someone obviously who resembles your mother, but at the same time maybe you end up dating someone who has some of the same personality traits as your mother, you know. Let me just end this video right here because I don't want to ramble on for too long. First of all, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why black people choose to date other black people. Number 1, because we do not want to be explaining, to our non-black partners why it's so difficult to be us. We want to be unapologetically black, but it's so hard to be that when living in these predominantly white countries that oppress us, you know. It's not to say you can't get oppressed in predominantly black countries, but you understand where I'm coming from. Number 2, there is nothing like coming home from work and having a black partner who is able to understand the microaggressions and macroaggressions that you have to deal with working within white-owned institutions, you know. Like, coming home from work, explaining to your partner that someone talked bad about the way your hair looks, you know, when you have your hair all out and natural, or if you like one day have your hair natural, then the next day you have your hair in braids, and then then you end up having to be called into your manager's office because they have an issue with box braids being there. It's so much easier to have to just explain how you feel, but not explain why it's a microaggression, and explain how you feel, and your partner's still not able to relate. A black man or a black woman can relate to that, you know. So we should not have to keep explaining it. Free. Let's keep it honest. Just because your partner is not racist does not mean they was not raised within a racist environment. So therefore, why should I have to suffer dealing with that person's family members who probably don't even want me in the house in the first place? I have read so many freaking stories on Twitter of black men freaking complaining, talking about how they wanted to be with a white woman, and that white woman's family has rejected them. You know, do not want them in the house. Like this one guy did it last year. He had to eat food. He had to eat his food. He went round to his partner's family's house. He had to eat his food outside because her family would not let him in the house. Do you think I was built to suffer for that foolishness? Eating food out fucking side like slavery still go on. No. Number 4. There is a cultural understanding that black people worldwide typically tend to have. You know, culture always changes and it's influenced by different countries. So, you know, we have Afro beats, and we have soca music, and we have reggae, and we have dancehall, and all these kind of different kinds of music, and they're all kind of getting blended in together in such a way, you know, that even if you're from, say, the Caribbean, and you decide to get married to someone from a country in Africa, right? There is still going to be more of a cultural understanding than there is between a black person dating a white person or a black person dating an Asian person. You feel me? There is always going to be more of an understanding between them two because they're typically dealing with the same situation, you know? So it's more for cultural understanding. It's more how you carry yourself, your beliefs, your values. These are all influenced by being black. And only another black person can truly understand that the way you speak, your lingo, your language, the way you perceive the world is all influenced by how you are treated by people of a different race, and the simple fact that you yourself as a black person, you know? So these are all the reasons why we tend to choose to date a black person, because nobody wants to be consistently having to explain the culture, why they wear their hair, why they wear their hair like this, why they're doing makeup in a certain type of way, why they have to wear foundation that actually matches your skin so you don't look fucking ashy, you know, look ashy like a Ross or elbow. Number five, it is so nice to, you know, see black couples together, you know, with their black children. It is such a nice feeling. And who doesn't want that for themselves? You see, white people do not have to explain to other white people why they choose to date other white people. They don't have to do it. They don't have to clarify it, because they are the default setting. You know, in these predominantly white countries, they are the default setting. They don't have to explain it. But black people are constantly having to explain it because we make up so much smaller numbers that we have to justify ourselves to these white people. And we need to stop doing this. We don't need to be justifying ourselves to them. We shouldn't have to keep explaining why we do certain things the way we do. And this is exactly why I keep saying we need to be more conscious of who we are, who we are as people. Conscious of who our ancestors were. Otherwise, if we don't, then what is the point? What's the point? Someone tell me, please. What's the point? Do you even know? Do you even know? But see me, yeah, I want to get married. I mean, I'm kind of up and down. Today is a mood where I say, yeah, I want to get married. Tomorrow I may say, like, I don't ever want to get married. It just depends. But I know for a fact I definitely want children, and I only want children with a black person. And if you come underneath my comments chatting shit about I'm a fool and all this kind of stuff, you will get blocked, because it's 2020 and I do not have the energy to be dealing with you no more. I do not. So please keep it cute and unmute. Listen, all I am saying is, if my future grandchildren, children, whatever, come and embarrass me. It's all coming down from the heavens, wherever my soul is, and I will, just mash the place up like Storm from X-Men. Don't play me, please. Don't ever play me. Watch how I go. So please let me know your thoughts down below on this whole topic about dating black. I shall also be inserting the pictures, from the screenshots that I took from Twitter this morning, from this whole conversation, because it's all kind of mad. Anyway, I should be back in a bit for some more YouTube videos, okay? Bye.